Good afternoon. Whew, what a Monday. My gosh, I just haven't been feeling great today. But I worked through it. You know, a couple things come to me today. I could hear people saying like, "Oh, you're not a good communicator," or you're mean now, or you're different now. Yeah, I am different. I would agree. I don't disagree with that statement. So if you feel that way, I'm in agreement with you. I'm freaking different. I'm very different. I'm sorry. I'm not a doormat no more. I can pick up on shady crap. I can pick up on shady people. I can pick up on shady conversation. So yeah, I'm a bit different. I'm sorry for that. You know, don't be shady. I mean, really, at this point in the venture, I think it's comical. I don't know what people expected. I truly don't. I need people to break it down to me as to why they made the choices they made and the decisions they made in reference to my life and their part they played in it. Okay. And then we can get to the other side of why I'm different. Okay. Once we have open dialogue and conversations regarding this, I'd be down to go down that rabbit hole. I totally would. Because I'd like to have an understanding, truly, you know, and maybe I'm wrong in some areas, in reference to things that pieces I put together, little nuggets I put together, pieces to my own puzzle that I put together. Perhaps I am incorrect in some areas, and I'm willing to take ownership in that. I am indeed. But until some of these conversations come to be, what people say in the back, is the last thing of my mind. It's the last thing on my mind. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the people that, you know, I come into interaction with, truthfully. So often enough, I find people that just overly say things that they just don't need to say. They just don't need to say it. If it's not true, don't say it. There's just no need. If you're lying in that statement you're making, you don't even have to say it. Just don't say it. You know, and so that's what's trippy to me is when you find yourself in conversations or dialogues with people in all facets of life, or you turn on the news, or you turn on a podcast, or you turn on whatever, you literally are watching this, or you're in the interaction of this, and you know they're lying. You know that they're lying. You know, like so often enough, I find that in conversations with people, like for example, even with Trump, like when he speaks, he is so repetitive. He's so repetitive because he wants to avoid slipping up and saying something that he shouldn't say, which would most likely be actually the truth. So he constantly is repetitive about a lot of things, and 99% of the time he's talking about himself. And I'm just using him as an example. But there are a lot of people that do that. Where they're just repetitive in a conversation, overly using adjectives, overly constantly talking about one scenario instead of actually talking about the meat and the grits of what need to be talked about. They're too busy manipulating the conversation to stay in this area because they don't want to go down the area where things like truly need to be talked about. So they avoid it at all costs. So they deflect and they redirect the conversation. Right. And so I've been so succumbed to conversations like this throughout my life that I pick up on them very easily. And so when I check myself and I start recognizing that I'm in conversations like this, I'll just check out. I'll just straight check out. I'll remove my energy from the conversation. I won't be rude. I'll just remove myself gracefully and allow it to transpire how it transpires. But I'm no longer, you know, invested in it because I just don't want to play the head games. And it's nothing beknownst to the person that's, you know, in the conversation with me. I just don't have time for it. I do not have time for it. And so if that's classified as being mean, I mean, I suppose so. I guess. Sure. Right? Like, no. When I say things, I say them from a place of meaning, a place of truth. If I apologize for something, I'm truly sorry for that. Right? If I say something, I'm saying it from a place of truth, of truly meaning it with good intentions, right? I'm not saying I'm always right or I'm always wrong, but I'm just saying it's coming from a place of good intentions. It's never coming from a place with impure intentions, or side angles, or trying to prove myself right. I have no desire to prove myself right by any means. And I don't have the desire to prove anybody wrong. But when I pick up on things that are outside of me that are affecting me in different ways because of how my mind operates, how I emotionally work, how my feelings work, because I've tuned into that during my healing. And if I pick up on things that don't make me feel great, I'm not going to just stay in it so I can make everybody else around me feel great. That's like not my job. It's just not. It's not anybody's job. It's truly not. And so many more people need to get to this place where they stop moving and operating to make everybody else around them happy and actually focus on making themselves happy. And then they'll start pouring out better things into this world. We have so many people that are unhappy because of how they choose to live their day to day and all of these different things. And this is what's creating the domino effect of the issues happening in the world right now with the imbalancing of the scales, the mistreatment, the judgment, the poor choice of words, just everything, how, like, for example, I'm going to end it on this. So I'm a big firm believer in like every child matters. Every single child matters. Every baby matters. Okay. No matter who they are, no matter where they came from, no matter who their parents are, what they look like, they matter. Okay. And it is mind-boggling to me that we live in a world that feels as though their children are a slice above other children because of where those children come from, who their parents are, what their status quo is. They feel as though their kids and their babies are here, and the mediocre and the poverty kids, they're here. They're a slice below. Okay. And so they move and operate in this methodical thinking, right? Or better yet, they're a part of the problem, right? And all this stuff, right? Because everybody's about pointing the fingers, right? Of course, it's everybody else's fault. It's never anybody else's. It's never your fault. Never. And so it's crazy to me when I find myself in different circumstances and situations, like where I pick them, like that was the craziest thing for me when it came to me in my walk. And I know the moving pieces, the moving puzzle pieces that were so intricately woven within me and my son's life, whether it be the way that my family played their part, whether it be the people that I was with, my ex-husband, my friend group, the companies I work for. But all these people had a design placeholder in my life where they, in different ways, intentionally made our lives harder than what it needed to be. And I have freaking receipts for days on that. We can go down the rabbit hole in the memory bank in reference to so many things, right? But I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that we live in a world where there are people that have children, but have the mindset in their mind that it'd be okay to go ahead and turn families and children against each other intentionally by choice, right? It's crazy to me because I well aware in reference to the intentions in their back and forth with me and my son, and it's a dang shame that it got here and my son was pulled into this and has been used against me in so many different ways based off the stories that were told to him, based off the different bondage and change in reference to everything unraveled in this and how far up it goes and how dirty and gross it is. And just the misuse of the governing system, the misuse of the legal system, the misuse of the judicial system, where you now take these types of measures in the back, in the dark, involving children. And I know that this has happened to other people outside of me, but yet we have people in this world that think my son is less than them or his value is less because he is my son and I am not of them. Make that make sense. And this isn't me from a victim mentality. This is me trying to advocate